Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. I just want to thank all my old subscribers and welcome my new subscribers. So if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and hit that notification bell to be notified when I upload videos. So it's really cold outside today and I wanted to do something quick and easy, and I wanted to use up the last of my garden bounty that I had in my fridge. And I have a couple of kohlrabis and some tomatoes that I wanted to use up before they went bad. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to do a soup or a stew or whatever you want to call it. It's probably going to be as thick as a stew. And I have my cast iron enamel Dutch oven on my glass top stove. And let's get started with that. So here's the kohlrabi and the tomatoes that I had left from the garden. And what I'm going to do is just cut everything up into manageable chunks, and some spinach, kale, and Swiss chard in there. And I'm just going to cut it up into manageable chunks and get it into my Dutch oven. So I'm going to start with a roux, which is basically equal parts butter to equal parts all-purpose flour or whatever flour you may have. And I'm just going to melt the butter and warm that up and sort of get it sort of toasty so it cooks out the raw flour taste. It sort of smells like sugar cookies to me when it's done. So this is what it looks like, sort of on the brown side when it's done. And I'm going to add in my chunked up kohlrabi, and I think it tastes like coleslaw or cabbage, I should say. Other people say it tastes like turnips and different things, but whatever. So I'm going to get that in here and I'm going to get it cooking down, and then I'm going to add some homemade broth into this. So I have my broth here and I'm just going to add it right in, and I'm going to let this cook down until that kohlrabi gets really soft, because this is the thing that's going to take the longest to cook. So I'm going to put that in there, and probably a cup or two of water just to get this starting to cook down. So at this point I don't want to add too much water because the tomatoes are going to add quite a bit of juice to the mix. And I said in the beginning that I want it kind of like a stew consistency instead of a soup. But I mean, if you want to do a soup, by all means add more water. So here are my tomatoes. I have them chunked up, and then here is my spinach, kale, Swiss chard mixture, and I'm going to drop that in as well. So here I have some celery, which I'm going to use the juice off of. Here is the meat that I'm going to use, that is ham. I have carrots, which I'm going to also use the juice off. That's why I didn't add so much earlier. And then black beans with the juice. And then I have a cup of rice soaking. So in my pot, I have the kohlrabi boiling away to get soft. I did add my spices and a couple of bay leaves. So once that gets soft enough to where it basically is cooked, not quite, but basically cooked, I'm going to start adding my other ingredients, my carrots with the juice. I'm using all the juice that is in these, my celery, and I'm also going to add in my black beans at this point in time. I'm going to add it all in, and that's going to create juice as well. So that's why I didn't add any or hardly any at the very beginning, because all of these veggies, my home canned veggies, have the juice in it, and it's a lot of nutrients in those juices, and you don't want to drain it off and waste it. It adds flavor to the dish. So this is a great SHTF meal to prep and get going in a one pot. So I've added in all my greens, I've added in my tomatoes. Now I'm just adding in my rice. And once that cooks down, it's going to thicken up. The rice is going to thicken up the stew. And once it's all cooked down, it's ready to eat. So now it's cooked about a half an hour or so, and I'm going to portion it off into a bowl for us vegan lovers in the house, and then I'm going to add my meat, which is the ham, to the rest of the pot and get it served up for dinner. So this is mine, and it smells awesome. I can't even begin to tell you how good this smells. And I did taste it. It tastes delicious. So basically, whatever veggies you have in your stockpile, in your pantry, in your proper whatever, can go into this meal. It doesn't have to be what I used. Use whatever meat you have. It'd be great with chicken or turkey or whatever you have. This meal is a great SHTF because it's a one pot, and you can basically put in it whatever you have on hand. Don't like black beans? Use another type of bean. Don't like carrots? Use corn. Whatever you have can go into this meal. So that's what makes it a great meal to use up what you have in your fridge, in your freezer. Whatever you have on hand, you can use in this dish. And I usually put homemade bread with it or cornbread. SHTF Cooking at its best. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and hit that notification bell to be notified when I upload videos. Thank you very much and have a great day.